So welcome back to another rebuild here on NBA 2K24 Next Gen. In today's video, we are back with another episode of our post-draft prospect rebuilds, and today it's Donovan Clingan to the Portland Trailblazers. After the blockbuster deal last offseason that sent Damian Lillard to the Milwaukee Bucks, the Portland Trailblazers entered a full-scale rebuild, and I really like the start they've had so far. I absolutely love the young core they have in place on this team already. I love the Donovan Clingan pick at number 7, and I think this is a team that is really setting themselves up well for some future success. So we're going to talk about this young core. We're going to talk about the depth this team has. It's a 5-year rebuild today with our end goal, obviously bringing this team a championship. Of course, as always, let me know any other video ideas down below in the comment section. We are continuing to do these 5-year prospect rebuilds, and it seems like you guys have very much been enjoying them, so I will continue to do them until you no longer enjoy them. But, of course, let me know any other video ideas down below in the comment section as well. It's always kind of a weird time of year right now, right? All the, big trades and big signings have kind of slowed down a little bit, so anything you guys really want to see, let me know down below. Let's get into this one. I mentioned it a little bit in the intro, but in terms of some of the best kind of young cores in basketball, I still don't really think the Portland Trailblazers get talked about maybe as much as they should. So I'm a fan of their core. I don't know if many of you are, but today here, we're going to try within the 5-year span to kind of hopefully build this thing up. Of course, develop some of these young players and then hopefully get this team a championship. So let's see what we are working with right now. It's not too bad. Scoot Henderson, 20 years old, 80 overall, certainly did not have the best rookie season of all time. Point guard's a really tough position to kind of hop into the NBA and just be really successful with right off the rip, but I still like the potential there quite a bit, and at an 80 overall, 20 years old, certainly a lot I can work with here. Shooting guard spot, Anthony Simons is on a multi-year contract. He's 25 years old. He's been paid. 84 overall, I certainly do not hate that one bit. I just do not know if he's going to be my full 5-year shooting guard. I like him. I'm not saying we're, getting rid of him, anything like that. And I only say that because I am super high on Shaedon Sharpe. I like Shaedon Sharpe quite a bit. I think he's going to be really good for a really long time. And I just have to get this man starting minutes, right? I don't know if it's going to be at the 2. It could be at the 3. He's going to be my starting lineup because I am genuinely that high on him. Delano Benton came over in a deadline deal last year with the Celtics, and he was incredible, right, in some of the minutes that he saw here with Portland. I'm not really sure what my plan for him here today is, but I don't know. He's got a really good size for, a point guard / shooting guard. Rayan Rupert, 20 years old. Again, just kind of like my 4th, 5th guy right now in the shooting guard rotation. So we'll see what we end up doing there. But again, still a relatively young player. All right, the small forward spot. Jeremy Grant is somebody who could and maybe even will right now be moved this offseason. I know there were teams that were certainly interested in him, the Los Angeles Lakers, maybe a few others. But he just doesn't really fit the timeline, right? I think them giving Jeremy Grant the contract they did was maybe a little bit of a last-ditch effort to try to convince Damian Lillard to stay with the team. Obviously, that did not end up, kind of going their way, and Jeremy Grant still got that contract. So, I'm not saying he's a bad player, but I certainly think from a, just a math perspective, 5 years down the line when he's, 34, 35 years old, probably not super smart to be paying him all this money. I love the Deni Avdija pickup. It feels like they really didn't give up a whole lot to get him from the Washington Wizards. I like the contract quite a bit. I think he's going to be a really nice rotation piece for the majority of this video. Matisse Thybulle, obviously more of a defensive specialist. Doesn't really give you a ton offensively. 27 years old, so probably at the peak of his abilities, if you will, but certainly a solid defensive guy to have in this rotation. Power forward spot. They're listing Robert Williams as a power forward. I'll just tell you right now, I watched this guy's whole career when he was with Boston. He's not a power forward. He's a 5. He might not be the tallest guy in the world, but he's not somebody who's going to give you any sort of floor spacing. I know he is always injured. It is so unfortunate because when healthy, he is such a good defender. He is like a world-class defender when he is healthy, but of course that's a big, what if. So I love Rob Will. I'm not really sure my plans with him here today, but we will figure it out. You got Jabari Walker, only 22 years old. You got Tumani Kamara here, and then you got Chris Murray as well. So 24, 24, 22 certainly can work with all of that. It is a lot of depth, and it is a lot of young depth at that. And then the center spot. I'm not huge on DeAndre Ayton. I don't really know what I'm going to do with him here, just to be completely honest with you. I don't really consider him or see him as a long-term option with this team. And I know I've been using that phrase quite a bit, but just from trying to plan things out, I don't really see Ayton, who I know can be really good, maybe when he's like full effort out there, but I don't know. We talked a little bit about Donovan Clingan. That doesn't almost 100% look like Donovan Clingan, but he was obviously a very key piece to those UConn championships, and I really think he's going to be a solid player in the NBA. I'm not saying he's going to, turn into prime Shaq or anything, but I think he will be a nice center for years to come. And then Duop Reith here as well, 28 years old, certainly gave him some good minutes when a lot of their bigs dealt with injuries last year. So that is the team right now. I'm not saying we're going to make a blockbuster trade, but I'm also not saying I'm completely ruling it out. So let's see what we can find. This trade that you're seeing on your screen right now is not only not realistic, which I want to just preface this first trade. If this is your first time watching one of my rebuilds, these are not realistic rebuilds. It's also not a great trade just on paper, right? You know, we're not acquiring any draft picks. Hell, we're actually giving up a second round draft pick to make this deal go through. But it is a deal that I have a vision for, right? Jeremy Grant was not really going to play for me. I didn't have any expectations for what he was going to be. I want to grow this young core. I want to be bad, and certainly he's not going to contribute to that. My main goal while moving on from Jeremy Grant was to, one, get players that are also on multi-year contracts, a Jordan Poole, a Rashawn Holmes, and maybe fit a little bit of a more positional need for us. Backup shooting guard, you're going to see in just a moment, is a positional need for us. So I know it's not a great deal. I know Jeremy Grant is certainly a better player than both Jordan Poole and Rashawn Holmes, but I have a vision. Just trust the process, or, well, the process I'm doing right now. The other trust the process didn't really work out too well, but that is our first trade. And then in what will likely be our final trade before we start simming up to year number one, it's going to be a deal with the San Antonio Spurs, and it's going to land me Trey Jones for Delano Banton and Matisse Thybulle and another second round pick. Ultimately, Delano Banton and Matisse Thybulle were both expiring contracts. I am fully aware that Trey Jones is also an expiring contract, but he fills a position of need. I think Trey Jones is pretty good, and he's a player that I may be willing to invest in long term. So welcome to the team, Trey Jones. He's going to be the backup here behind Scoot Henderson, and I think, again, we're really building out a lot of quality depth on this team. So this is how I'm seeing this 10-man rotation right now. It's Henderson and Jones. It's going to be Simons and Poole. Small forward, it's going to be Shaedon Sharpe, Denny Avdia as the backup. I'm not going to start Rob Will at the 4. That's something that is probably going to have to be figured out. I may start Jabari Walker and have Kamara be the backup there. I know I have a metric fuck ton of centers on this team right now, but I can't really logically talk myself into playing Rob Will. I mean, maybe I do, right? It's just year one. I love Rob Will, but I'm kind of torn about this decision because we have 4 guys that arguably all kind of deserve minutes here at the 4, and one of them is not even really a 4. Maybe I have to move one of Ayton or Rob Will. But I also could just hang on to both of them. I'm starting Clingan. I'm starting Donovan Clingan. I know that's not how all my prospect rebuilds go, but I'm high on him. I think he can be good. I certainly do not want to hinder his development to, not hurt some feelings. So I may have one more trade. If not, I'll just see you guys with the rotation. Ended up making some tough decisions, but we have finalized the rotation the way I think it's going to work best. We decided not to trade one of Robert Williams or DeAndre Ayton. Ultimately, if one of them was on an expiring deal, I certainly would have, but that is something we're going to kind of kick down the road, figure out this offseason. So here's how it's going to look. It's Scoot Henderson, Anthony Simon, Shaedon Sharpe, Rob Will, and Donovan Clingan. As I mentioned, I want to start Clingan. I want to start the rest of the young guys. I think it makes a whole lot of sense from what we're trying to do here, 3-4 years down the line. Denny Avdia will be my 6th man off the bench. Ayton is going to be the backup center behind Clingan. We brought in Trey Jones to be a backup point guard. We got Jordan Poole sitting here as well, and then Jabari Walker. So unfortunately, like Holmes, Kamara, Duop, Reith, Chris Murray, these guys just aren't getting minutes, even if maybe they kind of deserve some of them. So that is the team right now. Our first round pick next year is lottery protected, so certainly something to keep an eye on. And I will see you guys at the end of year number 1. Not really sure what to think of our first season here in Portland. We probably overachieved. We went 41-41. Didn't really think that was within the realm of possibility, but here we are. Luka Doncic, 33-point triple-double. He's your MVP. Insane. You can ignore that. Jordan Clarkson, your 6th man of the year. Wemby, your D-boy. Josh Giddey, most improved player. Jaylen Brown, clutch player of the year. Guy fucking JB, baby. And Thibs, coach of the year for the New York Knicks. We are in the 7th seed right now, which, again, was not really expecting that, but yeah, I mean, that's cool with me. I don't know. I thought this team had good depth. I just didn't think we had, maybe enough star power to compete in this loaded-ass conference. Simons led us in scoring. Shaedon Sharpe. Scoot Henderson, really nice second season here. Some of the shooting splits would certainly like to be a little bit better, especially that 3-point and free throw percentage. But you know what? Slowly but surely, we'll get him there. Clingan, 13 points, 10 boards a game as our starting center. He was 52% from the field. Truly do love to see it. Ayton, Poole, Avdia, Rob Will, Jones, and then Walker. Led in rebounds by Mr. Clingan, then assists with Simon. So we have the Phoenix Suns here, right? If we win this, we are the 7th seed. I think this team's a lot better than us, to be completely honest with you, but let's just see what happens. We lose. All right, so now we are fighting for the 8th seed. It's going to be a matchup with the Golden State Warriors. Steph Curry, Podziemski, Wiggins, Kuminga, TJD. Added Markelle Fultz somehow. It's a lot of small guards off the bench. All right, what's going to happen here? Are we going to be the 8th seed? We are. In the playoffs year 1. Was not expecting that. Okay. Oh, Draymond is now a member of the Oklahoma City Thunder. Okay. I have a sneaky suspicion we're not going to win this series. We do What the fuck? I have had 75 win teams losing 5 to the Thunder in like year 4. But now I have the 41 win Funky Bunch here in Portland, and this is beating the Thunder in 5? Are you shitting me? I'm at a loss for words. Well, it looks like the Warriors traded Buddy Hield. You got Russ off the bench, Christian Brown. I mean, there's no way we just pulled off an 8v1 upset. I mean, it looks like the end of the road for us now, but that was insane. That's absolutely... Okay. Absolutely insane. Timberwolves win it all. Anthony, 44 points a game in both the NBA Finals and the Western Conference. Okay, it is now time for, kind of our full off season right now. Again, we completely overachieved from what everybody was kind of expecting for year 1. We are not going to have our draft pick, which is actually fine by me. It's actually, as far as I know, Clippers. I thought it was the Bulls. Huh. Let me double check that. I don't think... Oh, via the Clip... Excuse me. The Bulls do have it. It's at 16. We have a Clippers pick. Let me check on that once. Okay, that makes more sense. Chauncey Billups is our head coach. I think for what we just did, that was a complete overachievement, so he'll stay on. I know some Blazers fans don't necessarily love him, but it's hard to fire a coach after we did what we just did. So that is where we're at right now. I don't not know why Rob Will is outraged, but apparently his morale is in the toilet. And now we're just going to check a few things. I don't think we're supposed to have that Clippers pick, so I got rid of it. I'm just reading a paragraph right now from Fanspo that there's about 4 different teams involved in whatever this is, and I don't see the word Portland Trailblazers once. So I don't think we're supposed to have it. If we somehow end up, or we're supposed to have it, whatever, that's my bad. I screwed it up. It only hurt me. I don't want to help myself if I'm not actually supposed to have something, right? I'd rather lose a draft pick for nothing than give myself one that I'm not actually, deserving of. So we no longer have that pick. We're not going to have a draft pick this year because our pick was lottery protected this year to the Chicago Bulls. Obviously, it's not in the lottery. All right, we cleared that up. Whole clusterfuck. This game is so bad with picks and the protections and all the other shit that's involved with it. You get it. All right, we're bringing all of these guys back in the team option. Bryce McGowan's probably not. Jabari Walker, certainly somebody I'll qualify at under $3 million. So now we enter free agency here. Walker is certainly somebody, and Trey Jones, that I'm interested in bringing back. We don't really have crazy money, but we do have a little bit of flexibility in terms of what we want to do with this team. I want to swing for the absolute fences in terms of landing ourselves a long-term power forward option. Certainly, DeAndre Ayton was not going to be in the picture much past year 1, and I think Evan Mobley would be a significant upgrade in this rotation. So, how about we make a deal? I'm offering up Ayton, Reith, and Rupert at this moment. Of course, we have to be kind of careful with the money. Mobley's making about 34 annually. Of course, Ayton's making about 35 already. So, I just don't know what kind of flexibility they're going to have. I have some draft picks that now I am able to trade that I maybe don't have to worry about as much, right? Like we can move these picks without having to be terribly worried. Now, is there another player I can maybe throw in here? Like, you want Kamara? Oh, wow. That lands us Evan Mobley. That's insane. All right, I don't think we're done making trades. What I actually might do now is move Rob Will to the backup 5, right? We know that morale is still down for God knows what reason. You know what, though? That's a risk because if you all remember correctly back to some of these other rebuilds when players have their panties in a twist for no reason and they're down 3 overalls and they're outraged per se, he's expiring. So if he ends up still being outraged by this point next season, I'm gonna lose Rob Will for nothing, and I don't want to do that. So I'm gonna play it safe here. I'm actually gonna add somebody else. A guy like Ivica Zubac certainly isn't the worst option in the world. Hartenstein's here as well, but he's just making quite a bit of money. Mitchell Robinson, I'm not giving up a first for a backup. Wendell Carter Jr. is certainly not terrible. I like Gafford as well. I'm preferring somebody that, at least I'm getting offered centers, but I'm really looking for somebody who's on a multi-year deal. Honestly, Zubac, this seems like the best deal so far, right? Similar age to Robert Williams, similar money, just extra years, and don't really have to give up a ton. All right, that's going to be the deal. Zubac will now be the backup here behind Donovan Clingan. We have established Evan Mobley now as our starting power forward, and then I do want to go ahead and re-sign a few guys here. Notably, Jabari Walker wants about $11.5 million annually. Jones wants about $9.5. So that's cool with me. We agreed to deals with both of those players, and we've now figured some things out. We've certainly cleared up a little bit of the depth issue that we were having, and Jabari Walker's already pissed again. God bless 2K. All right, we're good at the 3. Could maybe consider a pool move as well. but I'll hang on to him for now. I think Derek Jones Jr. will honestly just chill on the bench, but I think Chris Murray is probably going to get moved. I know he's a team option, so I don't have to, but if anybody's offering me a first-round draft pick, I'll certainly take it. So, no. Keon Ellis in a first. Anything else? I can get Dalton Connect here from the Lakers just like that. No. Who's this? Whatever. I'll see you guys at the start of year 2. After an absolutely fantastic first year for us here in Portland, where we didn't only make the playoffs, we won a playoff series as an 8 seed against the Demons in Oklahoma City. We are back for year 2. Couple changes to this team in terms of the starting 5. Obviously a major upgrade at our power forward spot with Mr. Evan Mobley, but other 4 remain the same with Henderson, Simons, Sharp. Very nice to see Henderson and Sharp going up in the overall department. Obviously got Clingan here as my starting center. Avdia, Zubats, Jabari Walker, Trey Jones, and Jordan Poole is going to be my 6 through 10. I think this team is once again, poised to compete. I didn't really think that last year though, so who knows? I'll see you guys at the end of year number 2. Insanely successful second year for us here in Portland. 58 wins, 24 losses. Insane. Did not think anything like this was possible this quickly, but here we are, and we find ourselves maybe as a serious contender now in a loaded West. Tyrese Halliburton is your MVP. I've been seeing this more and more here in 2K. They love Hallie. Cooper Flagg, your rookie of the year. He is a Houston Rocket. Very surprised not only that he didn't go number 1, but that tends to happen quite a bit, but that Houston was, bad enough per se to have that pick. Lonzo Ball, your 6th man of the year, still in Chicago. Another depoy for Wemby. Alex Sarr, most improved. Anthony Edwards, clutch player of the year. Rick Carlisle. All right, wasn't the best record in the NBA at 58 wins, but it appears to be very, very close, and it's the 1 seed here in the West. My friends, we are possibly on the verge of something very, very special. All right, Anthony Simons, Shaden Sharp, Scoot Henderson, Evan Mobley, Clingan, Avdia, Zubats, Poole, Walker, and Jones. Rebounds per game led by Clingan, and assists with Simons. So we are now facing a play-in team, of course. You never know what could happen here in the first round of the playoffs. We were an 8 seed last year, beat a 1 seed. We got to be a little careful here because this Pelicans team, pretty good. You got Van Vliet, Murray, Ingram, Zion Williamson, Misi. You got Trey Murphy, CJ McCollum, Davion Mitchell. Holy depth. All right, here goes nothing in the first round. Quick split of the first 2 at home, win 3 on the road, win 4 on the road, and we win the series in 5. We are now moving on to the second round. Of course, this is where we ended up losing last year, and we are hoping to take it one step further here against the Dallas Mavericks. Interesting. Bol over Derek Lively. Interesting. Of course, Luke is just absolutely incredible. Won an MVP in year 1, but I don't know, man. I like our chances. Up 2-1 right now against them. Up 3-1. Don't do this. Thank you. We're in the West Finals. West Finals in year 2. If you had told me that this would be a Western Conference Finals team by the 2nd out of 5 years of this rebuild, I would have thought you were insane. We are now taking on the team we upset last year in the first round of the playoffs, that being the Oklahoma City Thunder. They are probably looking for some revenge. I do not want to let that happen. Win game 1 at home and game 2. Oh my God. No way. Okay, hang on a minute now. Thank you. They still give SGA Conference Finals MVP. Oh my God, Halliburton. Insane. Insane. Added Corey Kispert to their team. You got Wiseman now instead of Miles Turner. I don't like letting Miles Turner go, but this is the team that had the best record in the league in the Indiana. Okay, not. Boy, that escalated quickly. Let me tell you that. All right, you know what? I'm obviously upset. It would have been great to win a championship. You never want to, just let those opportunities slip away. But it seemed like Indiana was just a way better team, and they get it done. But we made a finals in year 2. It's certainly nothing to kind of hang your head about. I'm overriding the retirements for all 3 of those superstars. Let them have 1 more year in the league. I mean, 3 of them are actually in my conference, so maybe I should have let them ride off into the sunset. But no, I did not. Draft lottery time. I don't think we've traded for any picks that could be possible lottery selection, so we'll sim through this. It is the Jazz. Oh, good. Give the Thunder another pick. The Raptors, Rockets again. Oh, it's the Brooklyn pick. That's why they were picking so high. I was like, really? It didn't really make a lot of sense. There are a lot of great coaches here. You got Eric Spoelstra here. You see Nick Nurse here. You got Joe Mazzulla here. But, I'm really happy with the job, that we've had out of Chauncey Billups so far. So if I'm able to find him, which I am, I'm going to bring back Chauncey. It's not often through these, highly drafted prospect rebuilds that I'm able to keep my head coach, right? Because if these teams were, not selecting super high, I'm sure I'd love their coach a lot more if they were winning basketball games. But of course, not typically the case, but Chauncey's a rare exception today. He's done a good job, even if Blazers fans do not like him. All right, we are up to the drafts. I know we've traded away a lot of draft picks. We do not have any, so we once again will not be making a selection. That's fine. Henderson and Clingan both going to be brought back. Shaedon Sharpe entering restricted free agency. Certainly the kind of player I would like to extend. He's extremely talented. I want him here for the long haul. So let's pay him. You'll see Anthony Simons, who's been our leading scorer for 2 straight years, only asking for about $25 million annually, which is great. We had Duncan Robinson chilling on this team. I did not know that, but very excited to bring both those players back. That's my 2 guard and my starting 3. And I think at this point, maybe some smaller end changes, but not going to be anything major. We're using our mid-level exception to sign Bones Hyland to a 2-year, $24 million contract. He is going to be a Jordan Poole replacement. Jordan Poole was an expiring player, and he's somebody I'm just going to move on from right now. So I don't really need a lot, honestly. If anybody wants to give me a draft pick, thank you very much, Oklahoma City. That's completely fine by me. And then we're going to do the same thing here with Derrick Jones Jr. You know, we hang on to these players who aren't really getting minutes but are under contract for multiple seasons in case we're looking to make a serious upgrade. But, of course, haven't really run into that yet. So this team is not really making anything crazy in terms of roster changes. So I like it. I'll see you guys at the start of year number 3. Coming off a season that we made it all the way to the NBA Finals, we had the second best record in basketball. We decided not to make any major changes, right? It feels like we are kind of destined at this point to keep this core intact, and I think that's really a smart idea moving forward. So here's how it's going to look. It is Scoot Henderson, Anthony Simons, Shaedon Sharpe, Evan Mobley, Donovan Clingan, who's not really moving a ton in the overall department, but he's been playing relatively solid for kind of, you know, what we need out of him. So still keeping him as my starting center. I got Avdia remaining as my 6th man. You got Zubac, the backup center, Jabari Walker as my backup 4, and then Trey Jones and Bones Hyland as the backup guard. So yeah, that's just where we're at. Again, I think we're good, and we were good last year, and I hope we continue to be, and I'd really like to win a championship. So hopefully we can get back, get the job done this time. Another MVP for Tyrese Halliburton, but more importantly, we go 64-18. It is by far our best record yet, and we are hoping that this can be our most successful playoff run yet. AJ DeBance, the year Rookie of the Year. He is in Utah. Jaden Hardy, about 22 points a game for this young man. He's your 6th man of the year. Another D-boy for Wemby. Surprise, surprise. Ace Bailey, most improved. Halliburton also wins Clutch Player of the Year. But Chauncey, baby, he's your Coach of the Year. We are the 1 seed once again. I am assuming we had the best record. Wow, Eastern Conference is in the goddamn mud. All right, let's dive into some stats real quick. See how everybody played. It was Shaedon Sharpe now emerging as our leading scorer. Scoot Henderson continuing to take steps. He's up to about 51%. Still shooting about 35% from beyond the arc. Not exactly my favorite, but I'll live with it. We are looking really good all across the board. It was Clingan leading us in rebounds, and assist was Henderson. All right, it is us in the New Orleans Pelicans once again now have added D'Angelo Russell and Nikola Vucevic. Holy shit, where are you getting this money? But no, 2 new starters for them. They are back. The West is obviously, you know, the Demon Conference. We sweep. All right, Houston Rockets. Amen Thompson, Jalen Green, Dylan Brooks, Jabari Smith Jr. You got Şengün. Jalen Suggs coming off the bench. Cooper Flag off the... What the fuck? Okay, not exactly what I was hoping for here in the second round of the playoffs. I mean, God, oh my God. Disappointing. All right, well, you know, Houston might just be too goddamn good. I mean, at least we can say we lost to the eventual champs, but yeah, still disappointed, I would say. LeBron, who spent a year in Charlotte, calling it a career. KD and Steph Curry go out as well. Yeah, you know, it's just, there's, oh my God, look at this. Look at this. There's just something that's there, but you know what? We have to make a decision. Do we want to stand pat? We have a Denver pick that's apparently going to be at number 11, which of course is nice. But we have to make some decision, right? Do we want to keep running this thing back? Because we haven't made many major changes basically since like the first offseason, right? And so we could. We're certainly having a lot of success in the regular season. We had a championship almost in year 2, and then obviously this last playoff run was pretty disappointing. We have the 11th and 25th overall pick. I'm actually going to draft guys at both those spots. Now, I don't know if these players will actually end up being in the rotation, but they are certainly going to be trade pieces if nothing else. So Jalen Montanetti, sure, welcome to the team out of Northern Iowa. And then Chet Nwaba, I'm also seeing mid-range god Brandon Bass, or okay. Chet Nwaba, sure. I don't really know. Out of Senegal, I don't really know who these people are. 75 and 74 overall, respectively. Certainly picking up the team option on Clingan. Scoot Henderson now entering restricted free agency. So, I mean, loaded free. Well, not really loaded. It's just Giannis and a bunch of restricted guys. But we're going to have to decide on some things right now, right? You know, do we want to keep this thing exactly the way it's been throughout the entirety of this rebuild so far? I think it's time to consider a little bit of an upgrade in this starting five. Ultimately, Anthony Simons was fantastic for us. There's nothing wrong with him or the way he's been playing or even his fit on this team. We're just looking for an upgrade. And it's not going to be at the power forward spot. It's not going to be at the center spot. This is Donovan Clingan's rebuild. The three, I'm a really big fan of Shaedon Sharpe, and I think it was really between, Scoot Henderson or Anthony Simons, and I'm going a little bit younger, maybe a little bit more potential. So Tyrese Maxey would come in, be my two guard. I know he's a little bit undersized, but at the end of the day, so is Anthony Simons. It could work. We're offering Jalen in this deal, who we just drafted as well, and then honestly, I'll just go ahead and throw Chet Nwaba in here. I don't really need him. And then I have some draft picks here, like if you want, there's a second, you want a first from the... Okay. Welcome to the team, Tyrese Maxey. Again, just a small upgrade that I think will help this team maybe get over that kind of final hump that we'd obviously been, working on a little bit throughout the rest of this, throughout this rebuild so far. I will see you guys at the start of year number 4 here in Portland. This offseason, we decided we needed just a little bit of an upgrade in this starting five. We found that upgrade at the hands of Tyrese Maxey. I think he is going to fit with this team seamlessly, and I am very, very excited to see how it all kind of comes together. So it is Scoot Henderson and Maxey now in our backcourt. I'm not really sure why Maxey's overall is going down one. It's just the stupidity of 2K. Shaedon Sharpe here at the 3, Evan Mobley at the 4, and then Donovan Clingan, who, again, I'm surprised the overall isn't really moving a lot. Like, he's been a very consistent double-double throughout the entirety of his career so far, but that's fine. Denny Abdiya remains my 6th man. You got Ivica Zubats here, Jabari Walker, Trey Jones, and Bones Highland. So that's the team. We won, 64 games last year? I think we are just as good, if not better. I will see you guys at the end of year number 4. First career MVP for Ja Morant takes it home. Pretty impressive numbers from him. We go 68-14. It is our best record yet for the 4th straight year. It's now time to win, though, right? I mean, we've been great throughout the entirety of this rebuild. We just have not been able to get over that final hump. Hopefully now is when we are able to. Tyron Stokes, Rookie of the Year in Oklahoma City. Cameron Boozer, 6th Man of the Year. Another Depoy, Mr. Wembanyama. Koa Pete, Most Improved. Devin Booker, Clutch Player of the Year. And 67-15. My bad. I was off by 1 game, but you get it. We are loaded, and there is no time like the present. So let's go out, take advantage of this opportunity. Wow, the Thunder were a 6th seed here in the West. Interesting. Here's a look at the East. All right. I am feeling good at this point, but I was feeling good at this point last year. And, of course, things ended up not going so great pretty quickly. So let's all lock it in. Let's focus. We certainly have enough talent. Starting with the Pelicans, once again, I think we're at the point where we kind of just own this team. I'm confident enough to sim the round. Thank God that decision did not bite me in the ass. Now it is the Demon Wembanyama. Oh my God. Nolan Traore here as well. Shit. This may be a little bit of a bigger challenge. I'm not going to lie to you. Donovan Clingan certainly has this. It's almost like kind of the UConn and Purdue national championship, when Donovan Clingan and Zach Edey went at it, just from a height perspective. But obviously, Wembanyama is leaps and bounds better than Zach Edey. I don't know why I thought of that. All right, we are up 3-2 against them. Then we do end up winning in 6. We have the Memphis Grizzlies. Ja Morant just won an MVP. Ooh, we got Towns. And speaking of the devil, Zach Edey here at the center spot. Jaren Jackson Jr. coming off the bench. There are a lot of decisions in this world. That is certainly not a good one. Let's see what's going to end up happening here in the Western Conference Finals. Quick 2-0 lead for us. We make it 3-0. We make it a sweep, my friends. And Scoot Henderson is your Conference Finals MVP. Oh, good. 42 points a game out of Donovan Mitchell. All right. Not a lot of major changes here in Cleveland. Of course, we now have Evan Mobley on our squad, so they replaced him with Jarris Walker. Got an old friend in DeAndre Ayton coming off the bench. They got Bilal Coulibaly as well, but I think we're the better team. I do. 1-1. We go up 2-1, up 3-1, and on the verge of winning on our home floor here in 5. It would be a fantastic, fantastic feeling to get this done. Please don't. I haven't had a game that's been like stress-free in a while. Can we just... Thank you. I'll see you guys in there. I know I just said it, but I feel like every time I've had gameplay recently, it's been like a 5-point or less ball game, and I hate that because I suck at this game, and you're all probably very aware of that fact at this point. So it's nice to not have to stress. I mean, if I blow a 28-point lead in under 2.5 minutes, it would be a Hall of Fame, kind of sell. And it's certainly, within the realm. If anybody could do it, it would be my dumbass. So let me just kind of focus a little bit. But let's also have a quick conversation about the state of the Portland Trailblazers, right? I think they're in a spot right now where they certainly have done a good job of establishing a young core that can be, I don't want to say competitive because that's the wrong term, but they can give you a little bit of a challenge, right? This isn't going to be a team that's going to be a playoff threat or anything like that. But I think... I'm so bad at 3-point shots. I don't know what happened. I think they're going to be a team that could be really good in about 3 or 4 years. I truly, genuinely believe that. So, okay. Focus. I really like what they've done with their team. Of course, it was, damn near an impossible probably decision to trade Damian Lillard even after the trade request, because he'd been your franchise guy since 2012 or whatever. So, oh my God, Donovan Clingan. So, I credit them for doing that, right? Dame certainly wasn't getting any younger. They were never going to win a championship with that core they had around him, these past few years. So, good for them. They have also some veteran pieces, like Ayton, like Jeremy Grant, if you want to throw Rob Will in there as well. That certainly could be moved as well. So, excited. I think this is a team that is going to be very good and maybe not so long. So, excited about it. Let's cap this one off with a Scoot Henderson slam. I will see you guys with the Finals MVP. We end up winning the Finals in 5 games, and Scoot Henderson, Conference Finals MVP and Finals MVP. All right, not too shabby. We get that championship. Of course, it's nice kind of getting that monkey off your back, if you will. Just always worried about all that shit. But no, we get it done. Paul George, Nikola Vucevic, Kawhi Leonard, Alec Burks. Oh, my God. Klay Thompson. Man, this is my childhood right here. It's so sad. So sad, man. We'll hit the draft lottery one final time. No picks. I know we didn't really do a whole lot with the draft today, and that's kind of weird considering, the Portland Trailblazers are in a rebuild, and they have been for a while. Not a while, but, they still, we started out this rebuild in a rebuild. So, no, you get my point. We're not using the draft picks is what I'm really trying to say. We're going to make a deal with the team that just beat us. Team player options. We have absolutely nobody. I know we have some free agents. Donovan Clingan is certainly a priority, but I know there are some other names here as well. Oh, boy. All right. Let's try to get this together. I want to start with Avdia. I think he's important. Klingan's restricted. I can kind of wait on him. I want to get Zubats back. Oh, he actually has an offer. Who is that? Where am I going? I'm all over the fucking place. Who is that offer for Zubat? It's the Lakers offering him about $40 million. I think he'll take this instead. I think he probably will. And then certainly Jabari Walker as well. Okay, we get the 3 of them back. Do not renounce Clingan. Do not renounce Jones. Bones Highland is probably gone, which is fine. I can certainly live with that. Clingan wants about $20 million annually. Jones wants about $7 million. Can I please tell me I can afford all 5 of these guys? Please. Thank you. All right. I feel like not a lot of those were like crazy big contracts, which actually, of course, benefits us quite a bit. I am just looking. This game's actually going to let me bring back Bones Highland. I'm going to be a little cheesy here and do a little sign and trade with Bones. I don't like running the same thing back for multiple seasons, but doesn't really need to be a major change. So let me just go look at players making like $12 million that are, shooting guards, point guards, whatever it may be. It's not going to be anything crazy, but we're not really, in need of making any crazy changes. So I don't know. All of these guys are just free agents. I don't know who Isaiah Harwell is, but sure. If we can maybe swing a deal for him, I have a bunch of draft picks that I obviously, don't really need, but he might just be a little too valuable. I don't know. I'm just going to try it. The draft picks don't serve me any purpose. Why are they all 1 star? I hate when this shit happens. God, this fucking game sometimes, man. All right. Oh, boy. This is a pain in the ass. All right. Who is Igor Demir? I don't really know. Please, just take the fucking draft picks. Please. This is such a long, unnecessary... Thank you. Fresh off a championship, it is year number 5, the final regular season for us here in Portland. Of course, we are on top of the world. We have this entire core back, and we are ready to hopefully go back-to-back. It is Henderson, Maxey, Sharp, Mobley, Clingan. Starting 5 has not changed now. Oh, well, Maxey changed last year, but you get it. Avdia, Zubats, Demir, whoever the hell you are, Jabari Walker, and Trey Jones. I will see you all at the end of year 5. I believe this is now the second MVP for Luka of this video. We go 66-16. It's not our best record yet, but we're, on pace, basically. Isaac Hayes, Rookie of the Year in DC. Ellis Harrington, just give the Thunder an award every year. Speaking of an award every fucking year. Bryson Tiller, Most Improved. Luka Doncic, Clutch Player of the Year. And Chauncey is your Coach of the Year. I think that's 3 straight for him as well. I'm looking at standings. We're the 1 seed. Surprise, surprise. It is the best record in the league. Let's get into the numbers, my friends. Henderson, Sharp, Maxey, Clingan, Mobley. You guys have eyeballs. You can certainly see that. Rebounds is Clingan, and assists was Henderson. All right, us and the Jazz. Okay, Trae Young, certainly a nice pickup. AJ DeBanza, Walker Kessler. They don't move me enough. Oh, yeah, gentleman sweep. Houston, this is the team that beat us 2 years ago, right? This was one of the main reasons we didn't get back-to-back championships already. So I'm looking for revenge. This team's fucking loaded, by the way, but I'm looking for some revenge. This should be a conference finals matchup. How the fuck are you a 4 seed, Houston? Screwing me over. Bunch of bullshit. Don't do it. Wow. All right, it is us and the Spurs, Western Conference Finals. I believe we beat them last year on our way to our first championship. Hopefully we can beat them again on our way to our second championship. We're 2-2 right now, go up 3-2. We are in the finals, my friends. We are taking on the Melo Ball and the Charlotte Hornets. Grady Dick, Zachary Rizachet now here. Okay, interesting. They don't move me nearly enough. Donovan Clingan, what a way. It's a freaking movie. We cap it off with the man who we're making the video about winning a finals MVP. All right, this one was fun. I've really been enjoying these 5-year prospect rebuilds. You know, I've been really surprised with the way a lot of these have gone. It feels like, because obviously, you know, when we're doing prospect rebuilds, you know, early in the lottery, a lot of these teams aren't going to be very good, obviously. But it feels like a lot of these have kind of gone a lot quicker than maybe I was initially anticipating. But very much enjoying them so far. We've put together a lot of great teams and looking forward to continuing and wrapping these up. So hopefully you guys have been enjoying as well. As always, let me know any other video ideas down below in the comment section. I just screwed up my outro. As always, thanks so much for watching. I love you guys. I'll catch you guys all in the next one.